Have you ever noticed how a simple disagreement, like how to look something up, can quietly turn into a generational standoff? One person opens 12 tabs, skims 3 paragraphs, watches a short summary video, and says, "Okay, I get it." The other sits down with one long article and reads it from beginning to end. Neither thinks they're doing anything strange, but both are slightly confused by the other. Why don't you just focus? Why are you taking so long? Why don't you check more sources? Why do you need everything summarized? It doesn't feel dramatic, but underneath it, there's tension. You see it at work. One colleague jumps between Slack, email, and multiple projects. Another needs quiet, uninterrupted time, or their brain feels scrambled. You see it at home. Someone prefers voice notes and fast replies. Someone else writes long messages and expects the same. And both sides secretly believe they're doing it the right way. But what if this isn't about discipline or intelligence? What if it's about adaptation? Some people grew up in a world where information was scarce. If you wanted to learn something, you had to search for it physically. Books, libraries, teachers, waiting. Information felt linear. You followed one path from start to finish. Others grew up in a world where information is infinite and instantly accessible. If one source is slow, you click another. If it's too long, you scroll. If it's unclear, you watch a video. Information feels fluid, replaceable, networked. And when environments change that dramatically, the brain doesn't stay neutral. It adapts. Psychologists call this neuroplasticity. The brain strengthening whatever pathways you use repeatedly. Practice deep, sustained focus. That pathway grows stronger. Practice rapid scanning and switching. That grows stronger too. Studies on attention show the brain becomes efficient at whatever it rehearses. Constant switching trains flexibility, long focus trains depth. When two different types of training meet, friction feels personal. One person experiences rapid switching as stimulating and efficient. The other experiences it as chaotic. One person experiences long focus as grounding. The other experiences it as slow. There's also something researchers call cognitive offloading. When we know information is easy to retrieve, through search engines, for example, we're less likely to store every detail internally. Instead, we remember how to find it. Not because we're lazy, because the brain prefers efficiency. If you grew up with constant digital access, your brain may prioritize navigation over memorization. If you grew up without it, your brain may prioritize retention and internal organization. That difference can sound like judgment. They can't focus. They're too rigid. They don't think deeply. They overcomplicate everything. But what you're often seeing isn't a flaw, it's optimization. Digital environments reward speed, responsiveness, and filtering. Slower environments reward patience, continuity, and sustained attention. Attention isn't just a habit, it's a trained pattern. Researchers studying novelty show that our brains are wired to respond strongly to new information. In fast digital spaces, novelty appears constantly. Over time, your brain becomes highly skilled at scanning and prioritizing quickly. Meanwhile, research on task switching shows that every switch has a small cognitive cost. People who protect deep focus feel that cost clearly, so they avoid frequent switching. Different sensitivities, different efficiencies, neither side is broken. They're adapted to different information climates. Psychologists talk about processing depth, not as a ranking of intelligence, but as style. Deep processing integrates slowly and builds layered understanding. Surface processing scans for key signals and moves on. Both are useful depending on context. You wouldn't navigate traffic the same way you'd read a novel, but we often confuse context-based skills with personality traits. We turn adapted to digital navigation into can't concentrate. We turn adapted to sustained focus into outdated. When you zoom out, this isn't about generations competing. It's about environments shaping cognition. Scarcity trains preservation. Abundance trains navigation. Stability trains patience. Constant change trains adaptability. Most of us carry some mix of both. You might scroll quickly during the day but crave quiet at night. You might multitask at work but need deep focus for meaningful tasks. The important shifter is this: difference doesn't equal deficiency. If you struggle with deep focus, it doesn't automatically mean you lack discipline. Your attention may have been shaped by constant input. If you struggle with rapid switching, it doesn't mean you're slow. Your brain may prioritize coherence over speed. You're not wired wrong. You're wired by repetition. And the hopeful part? Neuroplasticity never stops. The brain keeps adapting. You can train depth. You can train flexibility. The goal isn't to decide which generation thinks better. It's to understand the invisible forces shaping how we think at all. If you enjoy unpacking the hidden psychology behind everyday misunderstandings like this, subscribe. We explore work, identity, attention, relationships, the quiet patterns shaping daily life. And I'm curious, when you research something, do you open one tab or 10?